macula. We come down to crista. Now in the crista, as I told you, wherever ampulary segments are there, all the three canals will open by at least one ampulary segment. There I will show a darkened structure. So here also I will just darken it. For example, this is the anterior or superior semicircular canal. Here I will show a darkened structure, and this will be crista ampullaris of anterior semicircular canal. Here I will show a darkened structure, and this is the crista ampullaris of the posterior semicircular canal. And here I will show the darkened structure. This will be the crista ampullaris of the lateral semicircular canal. What will be the diagram? The diagram for this crista ampullaris will be, here we will draw a very short diagram of crista ampullaris present in the semicircular ducts. In which region? In the ampullary region. First will be, just as autolytic membrane of macula, substantia gelatinosa, substantia membrana tectoria, that is of the organ of Corti. Same way here we will draw this gelatinous mass, and this gelatinous mass will be known as cupula. Cupula. Below that there will be various cells, and these cells will represent almost the cells of the macula. So there will be supporting cells as well as various cells present with stereocilia and kinocilium. This is how you could draw. This much is the drawing of the crista ampullaris. And here these are the hair cells present with stereocilia and kinocilium, and these are the supporting cells. And this is covered, apex is covered by gelatinous mass, which will be known as cupula. Now, what is the function of this? Same way as that of the macula of sacral utricle, but the only difference will be here, these hair cells will have the various functions of, for example, kinetic equilibrium, and number 2, angular acceleration. That was linear acceleration in macula. Here angular acceleration, that means when the head is moving in various angles. For example, if you recollect the superior semicircular canal, the convexity was directed upwards, posteriorly. If you recollect the posterior semicircular canal, the convexity was directed backwards, the plane was backwards. And if you recollect the lateral semicircular canal, the convexity was directed laterally and backwards, and that was horizontal. So based on these three planes, whenever your head is moving in these three planes, the kinocilia and stereocilia of the crista ampullaris of that particular canal will be stimulated. For example, if your head is moving in a horizontal direction around a vertical plane, right to left or left to right, then the kinocilia and stereocilia of which crista ampullaris will be stimulated? Of lateral semicircular duct will be stimulated. Similarly, the other semicircular ducts, their respective kinocilia and stereocilia will be stimulated as the body will move in their planes. This is an example. So here we finish the entire crista ampullaris of the three semicircular ducts. Then we will come up with, should I continue?
Sir.
Okay, I will continue. Now after finishing all the entire internal ear, that is the membranous labyrinth, applied anatomy. Now applied anatomy here, for example, we will only discuss the points on this segment side. Applied anatomy, we will mention the first point, please mention it as tinnitus. Tinnitus, very important. This tinnitus, what is tinnitus? It is some abnormal noises which are appearing within the ear cavity, and these abnormal noises may become frequently, it may become such a large noise that there may be association of the cochlear dysfunction. Cochlear dysfunction may be associated, and therefore because of these abnormal loud noises which are happening, which is called tinnitus, it may lead to deafness. That is tinnitus. Number 2, along with tinnitus, there will be a very frequently occurring sign in the human beings. What This vertigo is a feeling of sensation of giddiness, or rather I can tell you that it is a feeling of sensation of rotational movements, either of the surrounding or of the subject himself or herself. And that vertigo movements may be appearing in normal persons also. That is because of excessive stimulation of semicircular duct. So vertigo that is occurring in normal persons because of excessive stimulation of the semicircular ducts. And we have the third applied anatomy, that will be motion sickness. So motion sickness is combination of vertigo, sensations of vertigo, nausea, vomiting, etc. And that may be occurring because of the excessive stimulation of saccule and utricle. It occurs in normal persons because of excessive stimulation of saccule utricle. Then number 4. Now here, this is very important, Meniere's disease. M-E-N-N-I-E-R-S. Meniere's disease. That is a combination of tinnitus plus vertigo plus peripheral cochlear disease. That is, peripheral cochlear disease means it will lead to deafness. That is Meniere's disease. And we come down to number 5, the last one. This is a little bit interesting. Caloric test. C. Caloric test. Now here, in this caloric test, there will be testing of labyrinthine pathway. Labyrinthine means vestibular pathway, or testing of the internal ear. If cold water is irrigated in the external anal canal of one side, and if there is on the opposite side, if there is nystagmus developing. What is nystagmus? Oscillatory movements of the eyeball. And if warm water is irrigated in one side, supposing in the right external acoustic meander, and if there is nystagmus developing on the right eye, same side, then this is normal. If these sensations are not developing, then it suggests internal ear dysfunction. That is caloric test. So here we end our applied anatomy of the entire internal ear. Thank you very much.